What's good, Mac and Macettes? You know it's your boy, the Black Little Mac, and we are back today already. I don't think it's been a week, maybe like a couple weeks since my Banlist video, my Banlist predictions video, but we're back reacting to the official February 2026 Banlist. Now, this is not only going to serve as a reaction, but kind of a deep look into what hits actively happened on the list versus what I predicted. Now, in mind, I predicted that either one or all of the barrier statues would get banned. Arclight would get banned. Sanctifier and the rank 5 princess got banned. Now, on the actual list, I got two of them right. So, along with those two, which is barrier statues of the Torrent and Arclight, Whitebinder and Featherstorm have been nixed. They're gone. They're banned. They're out of here. They're going into the jail cell. Now, I've already discussed why the other two, like Torrent and Arclight, makes the most sense. Let's talk about Whitebinder and Featherstorm. Effectively, Featherstorm, being as generic as it is now, is not super generic. It's not to where every deck can potentially use and abuse it. However, the main fact of them putting out an archetype, which is Radiant Typhoon, if you know, you know, and then allowing it to not only be Wind Wing Beast, but also have ample amount of opportunities to utilize MST as a form of negation and kind of play into a lot of different areas, right? With that strategy. Do we really need that? Because not only, again, you turn MST into a negate, as I say, you turn it into like multiple other forms of destruction as well. It's a solid enough engine in some decks, in OCG, it's a solid enough engine in some decks to where you put that engine in there, you put in 3 thrust, search out the storm, once you get hit with a hand trap, and bam, right then and there, you're cooked. It's over. There's nothing more that you can do, right? So, banning that was the obvious choice, and then Whitebinder. Okay, as somebody who has been playing Malice in Master Duel, and who's recently trying to learn Malice in the TCG, I feel as though that is an appropriate ban. It's a little weird, because I feel like the deck didn't need to get slapped like that. Like, if anything, they could have banned Shifter, and then everything would be fine, right? In theory, because I don't think the deck is like that fucking like consistent, that good, or whatever the case may be. So Whitebinder hitting that consistency boost, it's like a consistency hit, but then also part of their inboard at times, and can be summoned on your opponent's turn to banish 3 cards, draw a card, and there's a lot of shenanigans. There's a lot of shenanigans that can go with it. I still don't like that hit though, so I'll leave it at I don't like it, but I do get it. Now for my limits, I had a lot, right? I had Fenrir, I had Cartesia, I had Metalmorph, there was Super Poly, there was a lot. Go back and look at that video section just to see everything it was. But the main thing that I wanted to be hit, realistically, was Mitsurugi, right? Because Mitsurugi had been around for a while, the deck is hyper consistent, but I was torn between 3 cards, right? Prayers, Ritual, Habakura. Those 3 cards seem to be the main driving force that keeps the deck alive a good portion of the time. With that being the case, I didn't want all 3 of them limited, because you didn't need to limit all 3. One of them could have sufficed. You either hit the consistency or you hit the way that they have the best recursion. Konami chose to hit consistency. Not bad. Not bad. Also, I did say that they were going to directly hit Draco Tail, and I probably shouldn't have said that because they definitely did. With that being the case, they hit not only Draco Tail Malulu, they hit Ketsu Draco Tail as well. With that, Draco Tail still is a viable deck. It's still going to be top tier because they introduce, Burst Protocol comes out. It's either shortly before or shortly after the ban list is set to drop, set to go into effect, right? To drop, to go into effect. Meaning, not only do they get access to brand new branded support, they also get access to what was that? The moon spoon Majestus motherfucker that allows you to essentially go search out the Alistair Majestus and then fusion summon. Now, granted, that is a fusion summon of a Majestus monster, and it does require you to fill up your extra deck with a couple unwarranted cards. But if we're gonna be frank, what all were you summoning in Draco Tail that isn't already established? So, like, if we're gonna be real, adding a little more depth to it is not gonna hurt it. Another one is K9. They did hit, I think that was Julie, which is the one that summons from hand. Yeah. And that cuts on the consistency just a little bit, and I like that. I like that it cuts on the consistency of it a little bit, particularly with the follow-up. And then they hit a case of K9, another consistency hit. I don't think it's going to do too much because the rest of the engine still remains unchanged. So, and then also combined with the other cards on that got unlimited, I don't think it's going to be doing a whole lot out in its own deck, but as an engine, it does get stunted a little bit, right? With that being the case, the other culprits and other partner in crime that is being used with K9 did just get hit and also got some cards freed, and that is Vanquish Soul. Hallelujah to 1 keeps the deck from being able to rapidly get as consistent as it once was, while also still keeping it alive. Because if they hit Holly Sue and then kept the other 2 cards that I'm going to mention later on the list, then the deck would just be dead and there'd be no person playing it. And then finally, you have Yummy Snatchy going to 1. I don't think it's going to do much, right? Because you can recycle and recur it 10 ways from Sunday. You really don't need anything but like a Link 1 to do anything with. And most decks at first are just going to go back to running Sky Striker. So, I don't think it's going to change much with that. Semi-limit section is going to be real simple. I wanted Droll, Rapier, Detonator, Sangan Kaiman, and Striker Dragon to be semi-limited. I kind of gave my reasons for each of them, honestly. But Droll just got semi-limited. That's pretty much all there is to it. Happy birthday, Mitsurugi. You're not going to get screwed by a Droll every 5 seconds. That's basically all I can say on that one. I think the Unlimits has to be the most interesting, simply because there's some of these cards I did not expect, right? So for mine, as you see on the screen, I had the black and white dragons, so the baby chaos dragons, Meow, Meow Meow Mew, and Delicious and Sleeping Memory. I felt like with the latter of those last 3 cards, for real, could become unbanned, go to 3, and nothing would ever change with any of the deck. Now, what actually happened is they did unlimit the Chaos Baby Dragons. That's to be expected. Burst Protocol is coming out. But they also unlimited Dark Grepher, the Fire Ryzen, the Fire Vanquish Soul that is their main searcher, Dryden, Change of Heart, Incursion, Snatch Steal, and Stake Your Soul. Again, with Holly Suit being limited, I don't think you really needed all of that limited because you would just utterly murder Vanquish Soul at that point. That makes sense. Snatch Steal, Change Heart, don't even think it's going to be played in anything outside of like Sky Striker because, spells. Incursion is going to allow for Crystron to become a lot more the go-to variation of K9 now, in my opinion. Simply because you have access to so much when it comes down to the K9 the Crystron portion that gives you to avoid that is more layered than what can be done now with Vanquish Soul K9, right? Dryden is literally like fucking baby Detonator. It's fucking terrible. It's a terrible card now, for real. And then Dark Grepher, who cares? Like, it pitches. Dark Warrior's dead. I'll see y'all later.